It's a raccoon with a talk show, slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my new Trash Can Tidbits for this week. Today, I thought I'd take a little break from providing trivia about pop culture and share some facts you might not know about, well, me. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys out there for some questions you might have for me through my social media, and boy did I get a lot of questions. So this week, I'd like to present 10 facts you may not know about me, Beaten. Hopefully you'll learn some cool things about me, and don't worry if your question didn't get picked. I'll answer more in another video. But for now, here we go with Trash Can Tidbits TMI edition. My first question comes from my friend It Rickson. What made you choose a raccoon as your persona? That's a really wonderful question, Tri. Thank you so much for asking. I always felt that the raccoon was the animal that was the closest representation to my own real-life personality. Physically, however, I'm short, I'm chubby, I eat a lot of junk food, and tend to take out the trash a lot, so it was pretty obvious for me. Question 2 comes from Renton Whitetail. How many times have people called you Trash Panda? Too many times, Ren. Too many. I don't mind it, though. I think it's a cute nickname, and personally, I am really glad that they use that term for Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Question 3 comes from Quaylin. Would you want to become an anthropomorphic raccoon or were-raccoon? That's a very interesting question, Quaylin. I would rather like to be an anther-raccoon in real life because a were-raccoon would probably only require you to transform during a full moon, and it's a temporary transformation at best that I would actually think. Question 4 comes from my friend Chris Wintersmith. How did you get so handsome? Who, me? Handsome? Nah. I guess I was born that way. Question 5 comes from a really close friend of mine, Nano Wolfsenson. Out of every famous furry character from either Disney, DreamWorks, or any Don Bluth film, which one was the most impacting for you? Thank you so much for asking this, Nano. I love this question. Now, it's quite a very interesting one because it's not just one character that really impacted me. But since it comes down to one character from each animation studio, that I can definitely answer. For Disney, it would be Beast from Beauty and the Beast, because I related to him the most, character-wise, because he's a misfit who just really wants to be loved, regardless of how he looks. From DreamWorks, I choose Puss in Boots, because A, he's adorable, and B, I'm a big swashbuckling adventure fan, and he fits that adventurous mold perfectly. And for Don Bluth, I would choose Mrs. Brisby from The Secret of Nim, because she's timid and shy, and she would go to the ends of the earth to save her family. That's the definition of what bravery means, in my opinion. Thank you so much for asking that question, Nano. Question 6 comes from Calvin Skunker. How did you choose your name? Now, Cal, I think I had the name Beaten before I came up with my persona. The name is supposed to be an amalgamation of my own real-life name, but since I found out that a lot of people can't actually pronounce Beaten, I have it sometimes shortened to B. I like to use both names. Thanks for asking that one. Question 7 comes from Starfang. How did you find the furry fandom? This is a very common question. Thank you so much for asking. I was in my freshman year in college, and I kind of found it by accident. I came across a fan website for Fifi LaFume, one of my favorite characters from Tiny Toon Adventures. I can't exactly remember when I saw my first fursuit, but I do remember saying, "Wow, is that real? Is that a costume?" I casually liked the fandom from that point forward, but it was about 10 years later that I decided to join the fandom officially, and, well, here I am. Question 8 comes from Fluff Sparker on Twitter. Why are you so into music, and why do you enjoy singing? Excellent question, Sparker. For those of you who have seen me at various cons, know that I'm a pretty good singer. I've already sung with Fox Amore and Pepper Coyote, so that was a really fun highlight from my time in the fandom thus far. As for my love of music, I grew up in New York City, not far from the Metropolitan Opera. It was just down the street from me, actually. I've grown up with a love of Broadway musicals and opera. I've always had a love of singing and performing because of that. I've sung in several choirs, and I don't have any real interest in becoming a professional singer or actor. I just like to sing. And so far, everybody I've talked to loves it when I do. Now, I'm probably going to butcher this name, but question 9 comes from my friend Sean Na Lapao here on Twitter. If your Sona had one song to describe him, what would it be? Thank you so much for asking that, Sean. I love this question. If I had to choose one song, it would be Something Wonderful from The King and I. It's a beautiful song that describes the character of the King of Siam so well, as he does many things that come across as rough at first, but with the right people in his life, he does become the right kind of person that everyone wants him to be. With the love of others, his true kindness comes out. That's really me to a T. Thank you so much for asking that. And this last question comes from Tigran Nightscale. What is your favorite childhood movie? Oh man, I wouldn't even know where to begin with this one. One of my favorite animated movies is 101 Dalmatians, as expressed in one of my previous videos. But my favorite movie of all time, childhood or otherwise, is Fly Away Home, starring Jeff Daniels and Anna Paquin. It's about a Canadian sculptor and his estranged teenage daughter who find an orphaned gaggle of geese and teach them how to fly south for the winter using ultralight aircraft. It's such a wonderful story and a great study of family repairing and animal behavior that I find fascinating. That and the flying sequences are just spectacular. Thank you so much for these questions. I really enjoyed answering them, and I hope it gives you a little more insight into who I am and what I like. I hope you continue to like, subscribe, and share my videos. And don't forget, if your question didn't get answered, I'll be sure to answer some more of them next time. And feel free to send me more questions that you have, either on my Twitter, for Affinity, or any of my social media. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.